Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Greg Ratliff is taking care of us, as he always does, and pushing all the buttons. And he spent the day at the zoo this past week with his twins.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. There was no one out there, you said.
It was so nice. I love going there when all the kids are in school.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
The 2-year-olds like it? I mean, do they understand anything? Or
They know what some of the animals are now. They'll run up to some of them and they know exactly what they're looking at.
Good.
Not many of them, but just some of them they do.
Keeping track of them and everything. What's their names again?
It's Finley and Julietta.
Yeah, Finley and Julietta. I always loved the zoo. Frank Barton is in the studio also with us on the third Saturday of the month. And, Frank, I know the boat show is what we're all thinking. There I go again. The Mid-South Sports and Boat Show is going on this weekend at the Agri Center in East Memphis. Frank is out there with a boot, and he has some of the
we have Easy Go carts out there this year.
Easy Go carts are really
and Bad Boy buggies.
And the Bad Boy that's a real different combination right there. The Bad Boys are they get that name Bad Boys for a reason, right?
Yeah, it's an electric vehicle. It's coming up on turkey season, and it's a popular item for the turkey hunters.
Yes, I love to talk about turkey. You know, one thing we haven't talked about today, and we've waited for this last guest to come on, because we haven't mentioned that word that we always mention when he's on the show. I wonder what word that would be when Ron Wong is on the show.
Food.
Food. There he goes. That's the password for Ron
ding,
Wong.
Ding, 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 ding.
We now have talking about food, so we're ready with Ron Wong. It's Bonus Wong again. He'll be in next week, but Ron is out at the Mid-South Sports and Boat Show this weekend.
Yes, I am.
And he will be
Come
speaking.
out and see me today. I'll be
1 o'clock.
doing a seminar at 1 o'clock talking about spring bass fishing, and we will start out with some real basic stuff and go through everything we need to cover.
Yes.
For a wonderful, and hopefully to be able to help you catch more fish in the spring, whether it's bass or crappie.
Well, I know Ron was out there yesterday on Friday at 5. He's talking a little bit about tease some folks, and then he's back today at 1. And again, this is all part of your ticket to the boat show. Bleep that out, please. The Mid-South Sports and Boat Show. That he will be part of the seminars, and that is part of your ticket for your $8 to get in, or your $4 to get in for if you're young, or you're free if you're look like you're a kid, and 3 and under or 4 and under, or
that
whatever.
Would be me.
Yeah, that would be me and you. That's for sure. But I know that this show, and we've talked to the Peanut Quon, we've talked to Sonny Martin, David Best, and Rick Leslie about the show, but. Ron, you've been a part of this show for a pretty good long time yourself, hadn't you?
Oh, probably around 35 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Going back to the days in the Coliseum.
Yep, yeah.
Worked with Strike King, Hog Rustler, Hammer Rods. I mean, it goes way back, but it's it is a great time of the year to kind of
let's get ready
out of this winter mode for a lot of people. It's kind of the kickoff to getting back to the outdoors, whether you're going to go fishing or getting ready to go to turkey hunting. And I know that.
Way to go, Ron! You got that in there. Yeah.
Now, Frank, do you turkey hunt?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
It comes at the wrong time of the year.
Yeah, he's busy at that time of the year. So
well, somebody's got to be busy.
Well, you're never busy. You just, as I told Peanut, you just sit around and watch TV all the time. You have nothing to do. So
yeah,
mm-hmm. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. And at the same time, let's talk a little bit. Besides being at the show this weekend.
Well, I tell you what, Larry.
Tell them what's coming up.
A big announcement.
Yeah, tell them.
For all of the listeners and viewers on the website lroutdoors.com. As you know, the Bassmaster Classic is coming up
Yes.
March the
First weekend.
4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'll be held in Tulsa, Oklahoma this year. And actually, the lake they'll be fishing is Grand Lake, Cherokee Grand Lakes or something or another. But it's Grand Lakes, which is about 85 miles from Tulsa. But everything will be taking place in Tulsa at the BOK Center.
Yeah.
And for Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Yep.
We are going to have a Bassmaster Classic preview show on the 27th.
That's next week's show.
Of this month. That's next week's show.
Next week's show.
And to kick it all off.
Yes. Drum roll.
We're going to start out with Greg Hackney.
All right.
A former Angler of the Year for on the Bassmaster Elite Trail.
Yes.
He's going to start off the show.
From Gonzales, Louisiana, Greg Hackney.
That's right. That's right. Gonzales, Louisiana.
Yeah.
And to close out our show.
Here it comes.
Next week.
Here it comes.
From Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Here it comes.
Kevin Van Dam.
Kevin Van Dam. How about that, folks? I mean, we're going to start with Greg Hackney. We're going to end with KVD. I mean, there's not too many people just go by their initials. If you said RW, you wouldn't know that was Ron Wong. But
not at all.
And I know Ron's middle. I know his whole name now. But anyway, Kevin Van Dam and Greg Hackney, and then in between, just get ready. I mean, we'll be making the announcements. They
will be all participants.
Yes, yeah.
All of the people that we talk to will be participants
in the Classic.
And oh, by the way, let me throw in there one of our all-time favorites.
Yeah.
He's been on the show quite a few times.
Yeah.
And of course he is from the other God's country.
Uh-oh.
And I say that because, Oxford, Mississippi is God's country,
but
the other God's country in Arkansas.
Yes.
Mr. Mark Davis.
Yes, Mark has got a great story to tell too, and
he really does.
Yeah,
he's about a godly man.
Whoa, talk about what he's been through and everything else. One of our favorite people from that wonderful town of Mount Ida, Arkansas.
That's right.
Right out of Mena, and so the one and only Mark Davis. But it's going to be a really fun show, and then of course next week. Sometime in between, me and my partner will pick our winning choices. We'll make our annual picks.
Yes, we will.
And for some reason, Ron always beats me because he has inside information. I think because.
Well, I don't know that I have any inside information for this particular tournament.
I don't know, Ron. It might be cold. So you never know about that.
Yeah.
The last time you went to Tulsa, it took you 2 days.
4 years ago when it was held there.
Yeah.
As I was going to Tulsa, it snowed on me.
Yes, it did.
Very bad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't quite as cold as it was last year in South Carolina out of Greensboro and the Anderson, South Carolina area.
But March
because
Tulsa.
It was like 17 degrees there, but it was cold.
Well, it's part of the mystique, and Ron will be at the Classic representing Outdoors of Larry Ray and LR Outdoors, and we're going to get Ron up early on that March the 5th to give us a report as we report Open Mic Saturday. Ron doesn't probably remember that, but we are. I mean, he's going to be at the place, and we're going to be.
I'm going to be calling in that morning.
We will be here. Greg will be here, and
are you going to be here, Larry?
I'm going to be here. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, I'm going to be here. Even though I just agreed to speak the night before at LaBelle Haven Baptist Church, and even though my church Wild Game Enter is that same night. Part of me will be here. I'm not sure which part of me will be here that Saturday morning, but I will be at your Wild Game Dinner in spirit. Yeah, you will be there in spirit, which is always one of the games. Well, we got to let you go, Ron. Thank you, buddy, and we'll talk to you next week with Kevin Van Dam and Greg Hackney, Mark Davis, and no telling who else. Okay, buddy. See ya. Next week's show. I don't have to tell you what's going to be on next week's show now because Kevin Van Dam is. he's had quite a career. I can remember when he was a young guy out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, and no one really ever heard of him. And look what he's done now. And Strike King has been he was with Strike King when he started, and it's just a remarkable thing that he's done. But we got so much going on this weekend. 2 wild game dinners tonight, as I told you, Germantown, and, of course, at Piperton. And then come out and see us at the 52nd Annual Mid-South Sports and Boat Show. Now, I've been in Memphis. Next year will be my 50th year. Next July, I will celebrate 50 years of writing and communicating in Memphis. Hey, way to go. Now, I'm thinking of putting together a book or something of my 50 years in Memphis and bring back some of my stories. And so the show at the Coliseum was one of the first memories that I can think of. That's 2 years after it's just been going 2 years. And we would all go out there. You can remember those days.
I remember the Coliseum days fondly.
Yeah. Don't you remember, you walk around and down on the main floor, they would have all these different kind of things going on, And
then they had stuff on the concourse area outside.
Yeah, outside was plenty. It was John Bondurant and all those people would do it. It just didn't have the same mystique at the Cook Convention Center downtown. But it was gone. It was done. And so now it's at the Agri Center, which I think is a good place for it. There's nothing against the Agri Center because it's got plenty of free parking and things along that line. But memories.
I think you should write that book.
Well, you'd probably be in it,
I don't know. You need to write that book.
Well, 50 years of 50 years of Memphis. All right, Greg, you're holding up one finger. I know what that means. All right, we got to get out. Frank Barton, thank you, buddy, for being with us. Thank you for being part of the Outdoors of Larry Ray team. Go to lroutdoors.com, click on up there the team, and go to the diner and see Frank. I mean, we're all there. And Greg still hadn't got his order. He's got his hand up all the time, and everything.
Still waiting.
Still waiting for his order to come in. But go to lroutdoors.com. Go to Barton Power Sports.
In West Memphis, right across from Southland Park Gaming and Racing, known as the Dog Track.
8 o'clock this morning, they'll be out there. As I say every week, it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And God bless the USA.
Find